The Skydweller is not part of history, and I said that it could become historical because of the movement that has been fit into a 42 case. And they had to do that because the movement is bigger. The 9001 caliber is actually bigger.
A little bit of context, I started the collector series with Abdullah bin Diab with his appreciation for Zenith, with a collection dating back to 1865 and a piece unique grand enamel dial showcasing his family legacy. I mean, it's literally on the case back. Then followed through with my first meeting with Khaled, one of Dubai's finest watch collectors, with his love for watch complication and brand diversity, with a collection ranging from a discontinued 5980, a Mark I Rolex GMT BLRO. When I say a Mark I, I mean there is a different variation of the bezel itself, all the way to a Seiko 5, which I must admit, after seeing it, I had to go get one myself, which I will review in a future video. Support me by subscribing, turning on the notification bell for a ton of content on the way. Enjoy the video.
I think we touched base on the Daytona,
Yes.
but when I watched that video back again, I was like, you know what? We didn't do it justice.
I felt the same.
Yeah.
I felt the same. And because we just spoke about the hairline, but Daytona having such a rich history, I also thought myself that we did not do justice to what it stands for.
And I am actually super excited. I see a few things on the table that we're going to be talking about. You've got the Skydweller, you've got the Daytona, but you also have the rest of the Seiko collection from Street Fighter. Which one is really more difficult to get? Is it the Daytona or is it the Skydweller?
So in terms of sentimental value, I will say the Daytona means a lot. It's because I got this as a anniversary and a / marriage gift. So in terms of sentimental value, this watch means to me more than any other watch. It's obviously here's the tachymeter. For those that don't know, it's on the bezel. Obviously, this was being used to assess time, and it comes in handy for racing. And again, if you want to dive as well, you may want to use it. But otherwise, it's not very much used by the normal consumer of watches. The other thing as well that I'd like to say that the movement on this piece is amazing. Especially when it comes to the chronograph. I actually use the chronograph quite a bit and I enjoy it. I don't find any lags per se when it comes to the Daytona. I have other chronographs which lag at times, but the Daytona's chronograph actually is spot on. But if you were to tell me in terms of rarity and demand, or if there is a watch which is difficult to find, I would say the Skydweller, the blue Skydweller, is more difficult to find. There is a difference between history, something that has history, and something that can become historical. Yeah, and in this case, you've got a mix of two.
That's well said. I wouldn't have put it in any other better way, Khaled. I was actually just paying attention to what you said. So if we can maybe take a pause at that for a second. So you said the Daytona has history.
Definitely.
Of course. And then you have something like the Skydweller that
which can become historical.
Exactly.
When I come to the movement now, I would say that a chronograph is something that you may use. The tachymeter is assessing speed. I don't think practically you would be using that function per se, which is on the bezel. Now, practically speaking, the Skydweller is the best Rolex. What distinguishes this from the others is the sunburst that you can see on the dial. And that's something that is very important when you're making a decision on which color to go for if you had the choice. The other thing, of course, which is very important is I've not seen such an element in other watches whereby you've got the bezel directly connected to the movement itself. Apart from the Yachtmaster, I've not seen any other watch have such an element in it. So those are also additional things that would need to be considered, apart from this watch being a chronometer, a dress watch, an annual calendar, a dual time, and something that has a date as well.
Skydweller is a much more difficult watch to get than a Daytona. The blue dial.
Blue dial in specific.
Why is it not the black dial, which is also a little bit difficult to get, but not at the same level as the blue dial?
It's because of the variation of the dial. Sure. The black and the white don't have that magic. So when you actually see the reflections, the sunburst, which is in the blue dial, it changes. It shows sometimes, so if you can get more than one color in one dial, you'd rather go for that than go for a black dial. Although, if you would make me choose between the black and the white, I would go for the white. But 42 mm, I think, is doable. It can be stuck under a dress very easily. I've worn it, I've tried that. But the element that needs to be focused on for the Skydweller is that Rolex has made an in-house movement, which is one of the most, if not the most complicated movement they have ever made. Of course, they've made the triple calendar, but again, when I say in-house, I mean in-house. Right. So the Skydweller ticks all the boxes. If somebody tells me what's a watch which is an all-rounder, I would say that's a Skydweller. And the reason behind that is because what do you actually want in a watch? You want the date, you want your home time, and you want the GMT. And now if you don't want to change the date, sure, you want to change the date once a year in February, you get that in the annual calendar, and the blue works very well with the sky sort of feel. Again, the premiums are there, you have to live with it. Sure. It's the market. Practically speaking, the Skydweller, for me, is the most value for money at retail. You can see aesthetics, you can see the craftsmanship as well. But apart from that, here is what we call the DNA of what Rolex does, the evolution. This is something that they have done out of norm, and this would be considered a revolution today, and this could become historical. It ticks all the boxes, and Rolex need to be given the credit for that. They have made a masterpiece here, which can really become very historical. Don't look at 2012. Right. Looking forward. This is a watch that I cherish a lot as well, for many reasons. First reason being that I am a Barcelona fan, and I support them. I'm a hardcore Barcelona fan. And here you can see, if you look closely, there is the logo of Barcelona, and here as well you can see the actual logo of the football club. This was made as a special edition for Barcelona and for the team members, and I found this watch at a retailer, and the moment I saw that logo, and I know Maurice the crew as well as a watchmaker, so I purchased this watch. But this is a watch that I really like, and I wear it usually on my days off, and usually when I'm watching one of the games of Barcelona. The first video you saw Rio and Blanca, and this time we've got Guile and Chun-Li. And one very important aspect here that you see at 9 o'clock is Nash and the badge number of his colleague who gets picked up and who goes missing. And he always holds on to that as a necklace, or actually he keeps it with him. Even in the movie, he actually holds on to it. And you can also see the variations in that blue dial, sunburstish, and it's a beautiful watch. It's one that you can wear nicely, and if you really like blue dials, it's one to get if they have not been sold out yet. I also like the variations on the strap, if you see that behind.